what's up, guys? All right, so feels like it's been a minute since I've done one of these. I haven't been super happy with most releases for a minute, but there's always one vestige of hope, at least, when it comes to physical media releases for me, and that's Visual Vengeance. And today we're reviewing Scream Queen by Brad Sykes, another unreleased Linnea Quigley movie, coming in a year after Heartland of Darkness. So big shoes to fill for me, because Heartland of Darkness was like insane. I almost picked it as my favorite movie of the year, because technically, I mean, it was a never before released movie that got a release in 2022. But yeah, I'm rambling about a different movie than Scream Queens. So back on track. This is, of course, shot on video. Everything Visual Vengeance releases is. And I don't know at this point if I should even go into this explanation, but like, yeah, if you don't know, shot on video is extremely low budget, extremely cheap, homemade movies. So if they're not your thing, you're not gonna like any of their releases. So I'm reviewing this as a shot on video movie because I like shot on video. So yeah, obligatory pre-warning, I guess. But yeah, this is a shot on video 90s horror movie. Nobody else notable in it, really, unless like, you know, I think David Sterling and a couple other like B-movie regulars have little parts in there, if you know who they are. And this is kind of like a shot on video version of a 90s teen horror movie. It's not a teen movie. You get the impression that most of these people are like in their 30s at least. They're not young kids at a college or whatever partying, but it does have that meta aspect that was of the time, because this was 98. This was right in the middle of the 90s teen horror shit where everything was kind of going that way, and this definitely has those elements going on in there. But like, this is at the bottom of the 90s teen horror movie totem pole. Like, you'd have Scream up here, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, Valentine, Urban Legend, and then you have like Shredder, Colobos, stuff like that. And then you have stuff like Final Stab or Bloody Murder. And then way down here at the bottom is Scream Queen with Linnea Quigley. I'm not dissing the movie. I'm just saying, like, budget-wise, production value-wise, that's where we're at. The very bottom. It's kind of funny because it's an unreleased movie about an unreleased movie. It's basically where Linnea Quigley plays Militia Toombs. She's basically Linnea Quigley, though. She's in a B movie that's currently in production, and she gets murdered, presumably by somebody on the production. And some time goes by, they all get invited to a house, which is like, I'll get to that later, the house, but they all get invited to a house by mysterious notes, and then slasher stuff happens. So very basic setup, classic setup. I will say this movie kind of struck me as like the test for if you like shot on video movies. It doesn't have a lot of the like out there crazy stuff like Slaughter Day or like Suburban Sasquatch has. It's much more like a very serious attempt at a slasher movie. There's a lot of dialogue. It's dialogue heavy. It's attempting to be character driven. For that reason, it does drag a little bit. Not to mention, you know, the sound is pretty bad. A lot of the shots are very dark. So this is way less accessible of a shot on video movie, I'd say. But if you like it, that's some pretty good evidence that you are into shot on video movies. Like, I think almost anybody could watch Suburban Sasquatch and have a great time, even if they're super negative towards it. And this one, I think you have to be way more appreciative of, like, because I guess shot on video, my appeal for it anyway, is the like filmmaking aspect of it. And I won't say never, but rarely do you say like, man, they pulled that off perfectly. You're usually saying to yourself, yeah, I see what they were going for there, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of movie watching, because despite all this movie's flaws, It's very thoughtfully made, I'll say. It's a lot of the shots are cool. I mean, even if they're done on a camcorder, they still tried to get like cool kind of artistic shots. The opening credits are great, and it's kind of just like a practical thing. They just typed up pages that look like a script and then set it on fire so it like burned away. It was a really cool opening credit scene. There's just little details like that that are going to carry you through the movie. Along with that, the attempts at, you know, clever dialogue were definitely there. A lot of times, like, the poor acting can step on the dialogue, but you can see moments where they were, you know, trying to make their little meta jokes to fit it in with this era of movies. And just, you know, another little like nag, but also it kind of made the movie a little bit, the location. It was supposed to be like an old spooky mansion out in the middle of nowhere, like some rich person's isolated mansion is what they were going for. They tell you that with an establishing shot that's basically like a miniature that looks like they kind of built with like little ceramic Halloween, like a haunted house. And yeah, they're setting up that this is like the house on Haunted Hill, but the actual interiors is a 90s like ranch house in the suburbs. It's somebody's mom's house. They put candles, like candelabras, on the wall and on the tables in certain places. That's about as far as they go to hide that. But I mean, you've got like scenes where they're sitting at a table and there's like a dollar store, like floral painting framed up on the wall. The walls are all like that off-white, flat color. There's even like a laundry room closet behind them, wide open. They don't even try to like hide that. I don't know how much the movie hinged on being set in that kind of location, because it's not done like intentionally. Like they're not doing it as a gag. They're seriously trying to pass this place off as a big ass isolated spooky mansion, even down to the creepy butler, which his name is Runyon. He's kind of like a Ralphus type of character, or Igor, just kind of the only guy there who knows what's going on and kind of there being just like creepy as hell and shit. And the only other character whose name I remember is Squib, who is the effects artist on the movie. Because maybe I should have explained this better. They're here under the belief that they're going to finish the movie that never got finished because of Linnea's death. And they're all handed scripts and told to like go to their rooms and read them. And so you basically have like 2 or 3 actors, the director, and the effects guy running around the house. And the effects guy's name is Squib. He's very attached to his doll that he's made, his prop doll of the killer. And this guy's scenes were kind of the most entertaining scenes to me because, again, he's an effects guy, so he's making little meta inside jokes, like industry jokes. And like he talks to this prop doll that he's made, this prop dummy, like it's alive. At one point, he does his arm up to look like it's got a big gash on it, and he tries to scare somebody with it. His scenes were pretty entertaining. Other than that, I don't know any of the other characters' names. They were just kind of forgettable slasher characters. But for sure, Squib and Runyon were definitely the standouts here. As for the killer was pretty cool. You know, I mean, he was in all black with like a gold mask. I took it as very ghost-facey in what they were trying to pull off. There's a little bit of like a almost giallo kind of stuff here and there with him. You know, he wears black gloves, and there's a few POV shots that just kind of made me think of giallos. So that was probably an influence. And he has a cool signature weapon, though he only uses it once. It's like a fucking, I don't know, dude. It's like a chain link whip with a blade at the end and then like razor blades all up it. It's on the cover here. That weapon. You don't see it much, but I think that was like kind of supposed to be his thing, and it was pretty cool. There's some cool kills in here. Nothing that'll like blow you away, but it was all practical. There were a couple of creative kills, some fun ones. So as far as the killer goes and the kills, that's always one of kind of like the baselines of a slasher, or at least if nothing else is going on, you've got that, and it had that. But yeah, as a rating, I would give this one like 3 stars. It's definitely like one of the less batshit crazy kind of shot on video movies. It's definitely more of a attempt at making a slasher of the time and getting it into video stores, and it can drag a little. It's trying to be a little more dialogue heavy and character driven than it needs to be, but I can't go less than 3 stars because it's got Linnea Quigley. That's like at least a whole star and a half, even if she's not in it as much as you'd want her to be. The moment she is in it, she's great. I feel like I kind of brushed over that earlier. She's at the beginning, one scene in the middle, and then at the end, that's about it for her. So this is kind of a situation of like, she's top billed, she's in the center of the cover. She's not in it as much as you'd want. But aside from that, it had a cool killer. It had some creative kills, some cool effects, and a lot of little amusing details that just kind of bring that shot on video charm. So like, I guess I wouldn't recommend this to somebody who is iffy about shot on video. I would probably give them something a little more meaty than this. But if you like shot on video, definitely check it out. If nothing else, you almost have to own it just because it has the beautiful Linnea Quigley in it. So yeah, 3 stars is my rating. As for the Blu-ray, this is of course a Visual Vengeance release. They go above and beyond. This is top tier shit. This is one of the few physical media labels that I still am excited about because I know I'm gonna get my money's worth. They always give you tons of special features and tons of just like trinkets and knickknacks with the releases, which you've always got to appreciate. And they're usually about $25, which, yeah, I feel comfortable paying that for what I get. One example of that, this is about the only company that doesn't give you 2 cover arts. They give you 3. Almost every time they give you 2 commissioned original cover arts, and then the like video store release cover art. That's what I'm rocking here. I usually do default to the original cover art when I can, and it's not bad. I've seen way worse, you know. It's nothing special, but it's definitely not horrible. You also get this cover art on the inside, which is kind of like at this point the Visual Vengeance like style cover art. It's really dope. And on the slipcover, you get this cover art, which is also pretty dope. And as usual with Visual Vengeance, you get their little sheet of stickers. Again, different every time, almost every time anyway. I'm not going to say every time. I've gotten a couple of repeats, but there's almost always a huge mix of stickers on these things, and they're pretty cool. You also get your little write-up, behind the scenes info if you're into reading that kind of shit. This one came with a little fake 4-star video card, 99-cent rentals every Wednesday, and a large selection of adult videos. And of course, the little mini poster. Sometimes it's of the cover art, but in this case, it is a little 8x10 of Linnea Quigley holding that weapon that I was talking about earlier. And then you've got the extras, the special features. You've got a commentary with Brad Sykes, a little behind the scenes documentary, the whole producer's cut of the movie in the special features, which is something Visual Vengeance often does. They'll give you pretty much whole movies in the special features sometimes. You've got an interview with Linnea Quigley, an interview with Mark Polonia, who if you're into shot on video, you know who that is, and he edited some of this movie. And then you get, you know, the standard like trailers and image galleries, that kind of stuff. But yeah, like again, Visual Vengeance always killing it with these motherfuckers. Visual Vengeance is like 100% my favorite distributor right now. Vestron comes in a close second, but definitely Visual Vengeance takes it. They always give you so much for what you pay for, and it hasn't gone down as of yet. You know, I mean, I picture it eventually kind of taming down. I can see them stopping with the like prayer cloth and dumbbell kind of stuff, like the big physical props that they were releasing. I can see that winding down, and that's cool because they still give you a shit ton, way more than most distributors do. And as usual, 4 stars. This is a banger. They usually are. Definitely recommend picking this up if you're into the movie. And I should have a couple of more Visual Vengeance home video reviews coming because I got 2 more of their recent releases. So yeah, that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time.